Welcome back. You're listening to the Flow Friday Sports Show, and it's time to get our listeners updated on all things North Central Netball. And joining me is the Association President, Kylie Walsh. Kylie, great to have you on again. How are you?
Thanks, Ellis. How are you going?
Very well, and a lot of leagues taking a pause at the midway point of the season. No such things happening in North Central Netball. I guess it's probably a better thing, having spoken to some of our other correspondents, Kylie. No one really enjoys the break in the middle of the season, do they?
No, they don't. We had a league bye a couple of weeks ago, so we were off and running. So it was a very exciting round, and I had a bit of a tipster's flop this weekend with a couple of close games, which is terrific, but not the couple of results that I thought. So it's very exciting for North Central Netball Association.
Well, I'm very worried about whatever it was that I tipped last weekend, but we'll steer clear of any of that. So let's talk about the games that went over the weekend there, Kylie. Just starting with Bort, they played St Arnaud. How'd this one go?
Yeah, well, there was no surprises with the outcome of this game. St Arnaud were able to gain a reasonable scoreline in the first half with Georgia Taylor in goals, but Bort were reasserting with their dominance in the third quarter, and they made some considerable changes in the defensive end, and they took advantage of the trialling these combinations during this game. So I'd imagine Bort would be really happy with the overall consistency of this game throughout their four quarters, and they had a comfortable win over the Saints, 64-29.
How did the newbies Nullarbor get on in their game against Wedderburn? They were on the road for this one.
They were. Well, since Birchip Watcham had a bye, I took the opportunity to sneak over and watch this anticipated game, and it was a wonderful game of skills and tactics to watch. It was terrific to witness the four Lockhart sisters in the attacking end and trying to outplay the calmness of Nullarbor, whilst on the other end of the court, Nullawar's Lauren Thompson instilled that calm direction upon the Maroons. So that allowed a connection down the court and Gemma Fawcett to float through her goals. Wedderburn appeared to lose their concentration up the goaling end of the fourth quarter, and from what seemed unfamiliar scoreline pressure, and Nullarbor took this opportunity and continued to stamp their arrival into the North Central Netball Association, winning 43-40. So that was one I got wrong over Redback.
Yes, I do remember being a little bit more confident than you were about Nullarbor on the weekend. There we go.
You were.
Donald, they had Sea Lake. I know this was a game we were looking forward to, Kylie. Did we get another close one?
No, we thought it was going to be a bit closer than what it was, but Donald have had that sniff of success and they're on the hunt. But all credit to Donald, they shut down the usual strengths of Tigers of Stella Finch, who wasn't able to create any hold on the stronghold on the game. But this youthful squad is gaining further confidence and had a comfortable win over Tigers, 63-33. So I think they're going to be the team to watch at the back end of the season, and they're starting to nip at the heels of the teams above them on the ladder.
All right, Witchy Narraport at home to Charlton. Give us the takeaways that you've got from this game, and what were the play-by-plays?
Well, I got this one wrong. It was a cracker of a game, and I wished I'd been at this one as well, but no doubt it hadn't finals atmosphere. But in June, Charlton were out to stop Demons, and both teams were confident with their structures and allowed the game to play in its natural. But Tessa Coles directed youngster Paige Arnell around the goals, and she's beginning to cement her role as goal attack for Witchy-proof Narraport, despite the fierce pressure from her opposing player, Isabel Salisbury. This game came down to the final minute, capitalising on turnovers and composure and pressure, and that was in favour of the Demons, winning by a goal over the Navy's 37-36. So Witchy-proof Narraport have got extra game up their sleeve, and they've snatched fourth position over the Bulls going into a bye week.
Birchip Watcham sat out across the weekend. Before we take a look at the fixtures this weekend, Kylie, we'll just quickly address the ladder. So do you see any big moves being made here on the table as far as how things might look going into early next week after this weekend's games?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, now that Witchy-proof Narraport have played 8 games, they've taken fourth spot away from Birchip Watcham. So they're the only team that have played a full complement of rounds. So everyone else is sitting on 7 games. So it will be interesting post-round this weekend to see how the ladder fluctuates with there's a lot of win-losses very close on the board, so it'll be interesting post the weekend how it goes.
Sure will be, and it's a pretty close league too, so plenty to be excited about. Let's look at the fixtures coming up this weekend. And there's some big games to look ahead to. We'll start with St Arnaud. They're up against Birchip Watcham. So which way is this one going to go?
Well, I'm staying in favour with the Bulls because Birchip Watcham have come off their bye. So I think they'll be refocused for a strong game after a couple of losses. But I don't think St Arnaud will lay down easy for the Bulls, and they'll need to earn their momentum and their fourth quarter focus. But I think Birchip should come away with Birchip Watcham, should come away from a comfortable win over the Saints.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether they're rusty or not coming off that bye. Nullarbor, they're up against Bort. This is probably not the easiest game to predict. You might be sort of in a position where you say, no, definitely Bort, but who knows? You went against Nullarbor last time out.
Oh, I know. I think this is going to be probably nearly a match of the round. This is the first time these two teams are meeting. So I think Bort are probably going to go in with a fast-paced strategy to try and baffle Nullarbor. But it's going to be interesting to see how Bort handles the equilibrium of Nullawar's full court connections. And I think the most one to watch will be the contest between the two strong opponents, Stephanie Wilson and Madeline Smith in the circle. It'd be wonderful to watch these two. So I think this could go either way, but I feel that Bort will continue their reign on top and have a win just over Nullarbor. But I could be wrong.
Do you feel as though that lack of being able to predict Nullarbor is sort of over now? Do you feel like, they're no longer the side that's not got any expectations on them and therefore they can play freely? Is everyone completely aware now of their strengths, I guess, Kylie? Because you might have thought, well, if they were still the surprise packet, then that could be the breadwinner for them, if you like, going into this game. But you think now that they're on everyone's radar, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. They're so composed and they don't seem to find any pressure out in the court. They just play their game and don't seem overly rattled with various situations. So they're doing a great job. But now that after this weekend, once everyone's played them, it'll be interesting to see how round two goes. But yeah, they've certainly gone in with steady heads.
If they beat Bort, then are they suddenly almost a side that everyone's going to start fearing, Kylie, or am I being a bit preemptive here?
We might be a bit preemptive, but I think, Bort's still on my radar to watch them, but I think Noel nipping at their heels as well.
Yeah, well, you couldn't have nipped that one in the butt any stronger than you did there. Love that. That's a classic country response there, Kylie. Sea Lake Mandalay there up against Wedderburn. Who do you like here?
Well, I think Wedderburn will win this, but I'm hoping that Sea Lake Mandalay Tigers will focus on the game and not who they're playing. And just focus on each quarter that's required within it rather than the whole game. On the other hand, I feel that Wedderburn will be looking to reset on their court connections and particularly their continuity in the goal circle. But Redbacks will come away with a win over the Tigers.
Charlton and Donald's always a big game too in this league. So which way are you going to call this one, Kylie?
Well, I'm hoping that Charlton have brushed off their one goal deficit loss against Witchy-proof Narraport and refocusing on this game. But I think Donald will be up and beaten ready. And I feel it's going to be a battle of the bookends with Chloe Walsh and Addison Funk at either end. And they'll be hoping that both of their key goalers will be on fire and dictating their space. But I imagine really if Donald plays the strategy that they did against Nullarbor, they will take the 4 points away from Charlton at the weekend.
Witchy Narraport with the bye. Kylie Walsh, great to speak with you again. Enjoy all the netball this weekend, and we look forward to doing it again next weekend. The president of the North Central Netball Association, Kylie Walsh, joining us once again this week on the Flow Friday Sports Show. All the best, Kylie. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Ellis. Have a great weekend.